Thank you for joining me today. In this video, what I'd like to do is describe one of the practices we use during our synchronous writing time, and also a practice that you can implement with your own child independently as a way of stoking creativity and perhaps providing them with an easier way to access, how should I say, like thoughts that will enable them to create stories. The reason we're discussing stories at the moment is because we are focused on what's called narrative writing. In which your kids are essentially creating stories of their own, usually starting with a writing prompt of some kind. But what I found is that with second grade in particular, my group, the younger students benefit quite substantially from being able to see a picture or perhaps a short video clip wherein they are allowed to expand further on the thing that they see. Whereas you could, of course, provide a traditional sentence or two as a writing prompt, and kids are encouraged to do that as well if that's what works best for them. However, I found quite a bit of success in using pictures to help support or bolster writing, just as a way to get kids started. Because more often than not, some kids will struggle with ideas or what to write about, and again, these pictures really help provide a really nice foundation for that. All right, so let's take a quick look. So we've got, let me shift. Hopefully I can expand the screen a little bit. All right, so writing with picture prompts. And again, this is a practice that I use with my kids pretty frequently, and you're welcome to use with your own. Let me zoom out. Here's an example of one. So in class, this would be an animated GIF, and yes, it's GIF because an I following a G makes the J sound, not the hard G sound, and I will defend that to the death. All right, in this image you have Homer Simpson from a popular cartoon reacting to something that he's read in shock, right? Which is also noted at the bottom with his quote, which is "Oh my God," or excuse me, "Oh my God." And so kids would just take a quick look at it, and what I would encourage them to do is brainstorm different descriptive words that describe what they're seeing. And so if your student has their notebook in front of them, which they should, they would just quickly jot down some of what they see. And granted, they don't have this copy in front of them, so they wouldn't be able to annotate it the way that I can. However, they can still annotate in their notebooks. All right, so he is shocked. And what I'm doing is I'm just generating a word bank. He is reading. Let's see. He is surprised looking. And I suppose those two can act as synonyms. He's holding a newspaper, excuse me. Not that students will recognize that. Let's see, he's sitting in what looks to be his kitchen. So that's his location, potentially. And it looks like it's during the morning or day. So we've got a time of day, we've got a place, we've got our main character, so we've got Homer. And of course, they're welcome to adapt the names to characters that they've created. They don't have to stick with just what they see. This is really just kind of a launching point. Okay, so we've got our picture prompt, and students are invited to now produce sentences based on what they see. And what I would encourage, again, students to do is to lean into what are known as openers, or a way to engage the reader in a way that entices them read more. So we can start with Homer couldn't, excuse my handwriting, believe what he saw. Exclamation mark. So Homer couldn't believe what he saw. Well, now, as a reader, I'm left wondering, well, what was the thing that he saw? Or in this case, what was the thing that he read? And you would continue forward. So as he read his newspaper, he found a picture of, and this is where as a student I would be tasked to use my imagination, because I am not privy to what Homer is seeing in the paper. I have to really use my imagination in this case and make something up that would lead somebody to be surprised. And so again, if I'm a student, I'm going to try to be as creative as possible. He found a picture of his son, let's say, flying a plane. You know, And it doesn't have to be nonsensical. If your child decides that they would rather this be more of a serious story, they're welcome to. They can make it as funny as they want to, or scary as they'd like. The idea is just to get your kids writing and thinking of really interesting ideas. All right, so this is just a sampling. Oops. Okay, so this is just a sampling of what we do in class, what's known as a picture prompt. It does help to stoke the flames a bit and get your kids really thinking about potential topics they could write about, including characters that they may not have considered. And I encourage you to do so independently. You can just show them a quick picture from your phone or something you see online. And as an exercise, ask them to write for about 10 to 15 minutes on that picture, or to create a story or tell you a story about it. Really just to get them thinking. All right, thank you again, I appreciate it, and there will be additional videos to follow as I produce more content related to our Writers Workshop. Thanks for joining.